everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the WT Coach Show. I'm your host, Zach Barnes, and joining us this week, first off, is women's basketball head coach Kristen Mattio. Coach, how are you?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing well. Well, Coach, since we saw y'all last, you had a road trip to Texas women's, Cameron, and Angelo State. First, we'll talk kind of about Texas women's and Cameron. Both of those were wins for you guys.
Yeah, I thought Texas women's, we came out with a really good focus throughout the game. We knew it was going to be a dogfight. Texas women's is one of the top teams in our conference, and just thought we did a good job of sustaining from the defensive end, and then offensively we were executing from the offensive end pretty well, and just gave ourselves a chance to win that game at the end.
And then also you got the win versus Cameron. Another tight game. How good did it feel to gotta go ahead and get that sweep on them this year?
Yeah, as you know, Cameron, that's a tough place to play. It's a tough gym to play in. And it was a dogfight the first half. We were down by 1 point at halftime, and we're able to, sometimes on the road you just got to find a way to get the win, and I think that we did that. We put together a good offensive run in that fourth quarter to go ahead and take the win.
And then last night you ended the road trip with Angelo State and ended up taking your first loss of the season to that one, and turnovers being the big factor there with 21 turnovers for WT and then only 10 of them for Angelo State.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a disappointing loss. 21 turnovers, anytime you continue to hand the team the basketball, you're going to put yourself in a position to be in a little dogfight, and that's what it was. We played on our heels most of the night. Angelo State just hit the big shots at the right time, and we never really countered very well. So, the turnovers were key. We gave up some offensive rebounds, and, we're going to learn from it. We're going to watch the game film, and we're going to bounce back and be ready for Kingsville.
And speaking of Kingsville, that is this Saturday. What are you guys looking with them?
Yeah, they're a much improved team. They have a few new faces from last year, and they just look completely different. So we will prepare for them as we do for each team, and but they will be definitely tougher than they have been before in the past.
All right, well, Coach, thank you for joining us today, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the WT Coaches Show. Up next for us is head men's basketball head coach Tom Brown. Coach, how are you?
Good, doing good, Zach. How are you doing today?
Well, we're doing well.
All right.
Coach, you just closed off of a road trip to Cameron and Angelo State. First, let's talk about that 83-78 win over Cameron.
Yeah, it was a great win for us. All of our guys played well in that game. We really moved the basketball well. Defensively, we stepped up. We got some stops. EJ with a big steal at the end of the game to seal it, to put us up by 5. And, David played really well. Jeff played well. Ryan Quaid made some big shots. And we had a lot of guys play very well in that game for us. And you have to play well in this league to beat anybody any given night, especially on the road. So that was a really nice win for us to avenge that earlier loss against Cameron earlier in the season.
And then last night you ended the road streak against Angelo State.
Yeah.
You guys had a 50-40 lead at halftime. Then you ended up losing that one to 75-85. Just kind of talk about that.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We should only play the first half of the game, and that's it. But we can't do that. You have to play both halves. They outscored us by 20 in the second half, and it wasn't. We didn't play our best. We had some guys that, it kind of snowballs a little bit. We missed 3 front ends of 1-and-1 in the second half, and that's hard to do because there's only 3 front ends, and we missed them all. And so, you can't. I'm not going to blame guys for missing shots. That's the last thing, but we need to get great shots, and whether that's layups or kick out for threes. We really weren't moving the ball well. We weren't cutting hard. I don't know if we were tired or if they just physically wore us down, but watching the tape last night, we did a lot of things that you can't do in a game to win ball games, and that's why Angelo beat us. And you give them credit. They did get to the free throw line quite a bit, and that's being aggressive, getting to the basket, and we have to be able to do that as a squad. I think our younger guys have got to really develop now and play with a little chip on their shoulder instead of just kind of going out there and going through the motions. If we're going to be successful, we have to have that every night.
But this Saturday, you've got Kingsville coming into town. Just kind of tell us what you were looking at with that.
Kingsville, I have not scouted them yet, but, from the last year, they've got some younger players that are in their system, and they're going to be very good. I know they just beat Eastern New Mexico last night. They lost to Tarleton by 3. They've got a lot of wins on the year. They're going to be a very, very good ball club coming in here. We're going to have to play balanced basketball. It's not going to be just one guy scoring a lot of points. We have to have 5 guys playing together offensively, defensively. And hopefully we can get a win because, and wins and losses are important, but I really want to focus on getting better as a team, and the wins will come. So we don't want to really have to emphasize on that, but we have to be able to finish out games. Just like in the Angelo game, we got the nice lead in the first half, and we actually had the lead, I think, with 10, 12 minutes to go, and we just couldn't finish that game out. You have to be able to finish games in this conference, and that's being able to get the ball inside and outside. And we just didn't do a real great job of that with the Angelo game, but with Kingsville, we're going to really make that a point of emphasis and try to come out with a W on Saturday.
All right, well, Coach, I'd like to thank you for joining us, and good luck on Saturday.
Thanks, Zach.
Well, folks, thank you for joining us this week on the WT Coaches Show. For the WT Sports Network, I'm Zach Barnes, and we'll see you next week.